this is my quick review of the new Viofo A139 3-channel dash camera. Ta-da! Rear camera, infrared camera, 6-meter cable, a 1-meter internal cable, interior camera cable, car charger, card reader adapter, a USB-C cable, don't know how long that is, I'll have to check, and you get your polarizing lens filter. So this is the main unit. For A139 Quad HD 3-channel. There's a lot of movement, rotation on there. So the average car windscreen will be like that. You can point up to the sky, even possibly internally. Even if you was a truck driver or a bus driver, could easily work. Save button, record button, power, your Wi-Fi button on its own, that's good, dedicated, turn your microphone on and off, SD card slot, not sure what that is, we'll look that out in a bit. Your rear camera connection, sorry, your rear and your internal camera connections, which are completely new, I've never seen that before, and a USB-C power supply socket. Looks like you've got an external microphone possibly, and an AV out if you want to use a little monitor, so an internal microphone and a reset button. Yeah, there we go. So this is probably the GPS unit. Yes, I think, yeah, there's connectors there. There is no power connection on this GPS unit, so they've done away with that now. On the other A129 model cameras, you can power from the GPS unit, which causes a bit of confusion because the early models were faulty, the pins wore out, but on this it just powers through the camera, which is good. You've got a USB to micro USB adapter and spare adhesive pads. That's another camera. That is the rear camera, quite small, rotates as well. Wow, full 360-degree rotation. Wow, didn't expect that. And with the infrared LEDs, you can see them there. That's the internal camera. So even in total darkness, complete 360-degree rotation as well. So even in total darkness, you can see what's going on inside the cabin. Ideal for taxi drivers, carrying passengers. This looks to be a short USB-C to USB, so it's like a data cable to plug into your computer, laptop, whatever you're using. This is the main power lead. So it's USB-C standard. Actually, okay, I have messaged Viofo to check if a normal USB to USB-C cable will power the camera. If you don't want to use the 12-volt cigarette adapter, and they've confirmed, yeah, it should be fine as long as you've got enough power going out the USB socket. You see the connections? They're very unusual. No experience of this before this. This cable simply pushes into the camera, really simple to fit. So that is the short cable, so that's for the internal camera, which is this one. This is obviously the longer cable, but they're so small. That would be so easy to fit anywhere. Such an easy fit. probably only about 2 to 3 millimeters. I suppose it shows how technology is moving. That is a lovely little gadget added, a CPL polarizing lens. Just for the front. So obviously that will be attached like so. Great idea. And the usual trim tool. Welcome pack. And if you register online, your 12-month guarantee goes to 18 months as usual. Always register your equipment. And the user manual, which I'll have a good read of. Just to show you don't have to use the standard cigarette socket. It's a USB-C connection to power it. I've got a brand new cable. So it's USB to USB-C. Just demonstrate the power bank. So power and plug it in as well. And then turn it on.
Please insert a memory card.
So the beeping's telling you there's no recording. I just press the record button again.
Please insert a memory card. Please insert a memory card.
So the camera tells you if you're not recording, which is good. So we'll turn it off and we'll get it installed. Just want to make a quick demonstration on an observation. I'm leaving the current A129 Duo fitted in the car, but look at the difference in the thickness in the cable. The thick cable is for the rear camera for the A129 Duo, and the thin cable is for the new A139. It's about a quarter as thick. It is so easy to run through the panel gaps to hide. So much easier. Probably fit this in 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll do a little introduction or a demonstration of how the A139 powers up and how it behaves when you ask it to do certain things. Power on.
Recording. 3 channels started.
So it tells you it's recording, and it tells you how many channels you've got plugged in. Right now it's got the front and rear and the internal camera plugged in. If you press record to stop it recording, it'll beep like the other Viofo range. So you know it's not recording.
Recording. 3 channels started.
So it verbally tells you, because there's no screen, that it's not recording or it is. If you press and hold the Wi-Fi button,
Wi-Fi enabled.
so you know your Wi-Fi is on with the light as well. So it's now searching, but I'll demonstrate that in a minute.
Recording. 3 channels started.
So even though your Wi-Fi is on, you can still record. And we'll turn it off again.
Wi-Fi disabled.
And it resets.
Recording. 3 channels started.
Turn the microphone off.
Voice recording disabled.
So it's really easy if you're worried about GDPR rules. If you're using the car as a business vehicle, you just press that. You know there's no audio recording, and you've got the visual LED as well.
Voice recording enabled.
And of course you've got the collision warning button here. So if you want to save the file.
Video protected.
And that's essentially it. But if I just pan to this side, it also works really well with the Bluetooth button.
Video protected.
So you don't need to switch around the camera for the save button. Just press the Bluetooth button.
Video protected.
So I thought I'd also do a quick demonstration on how easy the app is to use. If I just turn on the Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi enabled.
Okay, so you know the Wi-Fi is kicking in now. So you drop your screen down, press and hold. So find the Viofo Wi-Fi, tap it. Password is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Connect.
Wi-Fi connected.
And we're connected. Keep the connection, don't worry about that. It's just telling you that you can't get on the internet using this Wi-Fi. Now I've previously downloaded the Viofo application, so whether you use Apple or Android, go on, search, download the Viofo app. So now we'll tap the app and it should just connect to the camera. And there I am. You can go to all your settings. I think you're going to stop it recording first. You go to your settings, and from here you literally program the whole of the camera. So you can change your resolution depending on how many cameras you've got connected, time-lapse recording, loop recording. I have it on 3 minutes. Loads of options. You can just have it record continuous, up to 10-minute segments. I have it on 3. Turn the audio on and off. You can change the exposure on the front, interior and rear. The only one I've altered is the rear slightly because I have tinted windows. Wide dynamic range I have not checked. There's not many cameras improved with the WDR, but I will be checking that as time goes on. The G sensor I was set low. Even so, it did save a clip when I hit a bump the other day. Date stamp, bit rate high, get your best image. That's the Wi-Fi. You can have 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. They both work really well. Time zone, Greenwich Mean Time. If you live in a different time zone, you can change all of this. Synchronization. Yeah, you can sync with your phone if you want to. Date. You can set which format, whether you're in America or Britain. This is the one I use. You can delay your boot if you run it off your ignition. So when you get in the car, you can turn your ignition on, start the car in case there's a drain on the power supply, so it doesn't interfere with the camera. 5 seconds, 10 seconds are off. I don't need it, it's wired up separately to its independent power supply. The IR LED, this is for the internal camera. You can have it off and it's just recording in colour. On, so it's just constantly infrared or automatic, and this works really well. If it realizes it's daytime, it records in color, and if it goes dark, it flicks over to the infrared camera. The infrared LEDs come on. You've got your parking mode and your parking sensors and motion detection. I don't use these, so I don't know, I suppose they probably work. I just don't use it. I'll just leave the camera recording. And you can rotate each image, so because the cameras are so small, you can flip them 180 degrees. Currently the rear camera, and where it says rear camera mirror, Viofo are going to do an update on the mirror because it's not currently working. I've spoke to a lady at Viofo and they're in process of updating the firmware now. By the time it's on main release, there'll be a firmware update. But that's essentially it. Notification sounds. Yeah, you can choose whatever you prefer. I like having them all on. Videos, live source, all cameras. your GPS. I always have mine on speed. You can pick kilometers per hour or miles per hour. GPS, I've just got speed set up. You can have speed and coordinates, just speed. If you want to take the camera model stamp off the display, you can do. 50 Hz, and you can format your SD card. You can reset the camera, and there's all your Wi-Fi set up. And that's the firmware currently installed. So essentially that's it. And you could also download your videos here. If I want to use these on. Go to the video files, go to the lock files. Try this one. Yeah. I think I know what happens here.
See what made it worse was the indicator was on.
Oh, I know what's on. Here we go.
Did not give a shit. He gave it every intention. You could see.
Couple Road B5251.
I came that direction the first time, but I
Yeah.
think it's longer.
I think you're right.
But Mum thinks it's longer to come through Standish. He didn't give a shit. Did not give a shit. He had every intention. You could see with his face he weren't gonna.
Yeah.
He was not gonna give it.
Right, so that's playing nicely. That was that clip.
The kilt on? Is it a kilt, a short? Oh, shorts, and he's got a thingy tied around his waist. He was directly behind me.
Video protected.
Oh dear.
Where did he come from?
He was directly behind me.
Video protected.
Oh dear.
The cameras are nice and clear. On the 5G it plays really smooth.
Recording. 3 channels started.
It's working really well. So you swap the camera. That's front. Internal. Move that out of the way. So you can get a decent idea on what the image is like. Rear. So if I stop at recording and turn the infrared on during the day, you'll see what I mean. Infrared on. Go back. There we go. So this is with the infrared on during the day. It's actually not a bad image. I need a shave actually. But it does look well at night. It really does do well. I might leave that on permanent.
Boy said he ripped up the script of what he was expecting this season.
You say that.
And you know, Europe really is on the cards.
Like you say that, yeah. You say that Spurs game's the one that made it click. I don't think it...
Does this won't get in my boot?
Video protected.
Go back to the settings and swap it back. Auto. Back. It thinks it's dead. Oh, there we go. A little bit of a delay. Really impressed with the camera. Really impressed. And I've not started recording, so we'll do that.
Recording. 3 channels started.
So overall, what do I think of the camera? I've been a Viofo dual dashcam user for a few years now. I've got the A129 Duo, the A129 Pro Duo, and the A129 Plus Duo more recently. All very good cameras in their own right, but personally I prefer up to now the 1080p A129 Duo. When I first saw the A139, this camera that I'm reviewing here, I wasn't so sure that I would like it without a screen to refer back to for footage, but upon using the Wi-Fi application on with my phone or tablet, it was really practical, and it really is a lot more discreet. I'm not sure if I'll ever need the internal camera, but I can see the practicality behind it for taxi drivers or business owners. But something Viofo have maybe missed a trick with is, I think, because you can turn the infrared LEDs off and use it as a standard camera, you could use it as front and side cameras for a van or something with a solid back, or even HGVs. And the lady I was in contact with from Viofo in China, when she asked me would I review the camera, I asked her a few questions, and I asked about the cables, and they can run anything up to 15 meters in length without issue recording, and they just pop in and out the connections to the cameras and the actual front camera itself very easily. It's incredibly well made, really well made to the touch, and I haven't found any negatives with it up to now, and I've been using it for quite a few weeks. So definitely consider this if you're after something, even as a dual channel camera, because you can buy it as 2-channeled, you don't have to buy it as 3. But if you need an internal camera for your business, or say you just want to do it anyway, say you're into doing blogging or vlogs, I don't know, this would definitely work. But it's been perfectly reliable, the infrared works well, and I just can't find a fault with it, and it works absolutely brilliant with the Bluetooth button. I already had the Bluetooth button from the A129. It connected in seconds, and it works absolutely great. But yeah, if you fancy it, I mean, it's easily adaptable for anybody with a van. The cameras don't mount outside the vehicle, but I think Viofo are working on an external camera or HGV 3-channel system, because I was talking to another gentleman from Viofo a few months ago, and he said something maybe in the pipeline, but obviously that involves using waterproof cameras, and it would require a more in-depth installation. But if you just want some cameras you can install quick on your interior, maybe knock up a couple of internal brackets, and mount them to your dash or your trim, incredibly easy to do, and you've got forward, near side and offside camera protection for not incredibly daft money. Thanks for watching.